is now the right time to do this? We'll debate at the top of the show. Does size really matter? That's exactly what Noah Houston is wondering. We'll tell you that at 6:15. At 6:30, Edley Hotek, the athletic director at Bellevue University, is going to join us, talk about all the things that are happening on Bellevue's campus, why that is the ideal school for you if you're looking for a college this fall of any age, whether you're a high schooler or looking to go back to school. Ed, the AD, will join us at 6:30. We'll buy or sell on several different topics tonight. Also, it is list season officially since baseball season is underway. What are the best menu items at the big food chains in fast food? Dan Campion and Noah Houston, myself, will let you know that at 7:15. And at 7:30, is this one of the most lackluster, star-studded drafts in NFL history? We'll tell you. You can get on the show, 402-951-1620. You can follow the show at After Hours 1620, or you can become a part of the show and punch in for the night shift tonight. Leave us a comment on YouTube like J-Man does. Happy Friday to you, J-Man, as well, as he's getting into the full swing of baseball season as well. We get the notifications today from any network that has letters in it telling us that Nebraska is dumping $600 million into Memorial Stadium for the revamp of their project of the Cathedral to College Football that sits on 9th Street in Lincoln. I thought this was really interesting for a couple of different reasons. A, the dollar amount, the tag on the stadium project when Trev Alberts first introduced it was $450 million. This is an additional $150 million, and save your comments about tariffs and the economy for a later day. But I do find it really interesting that choosing not to do it then and now doing it basically in the same style where they're going to completely revamp South Stadium. They're going to tear it down, rebuild it completely, and get to 2028 to get this project completed is very interesting to me. And I thought it was really the other interesting note from college football stadium land today is that Auburn is taking a similar project on a smaller scale. And the reason I find that interesting is not because they chose to do it on the same day. It's because we've been told that in this arms race of college football, it's about playing time and it's about money. Brian Munson has said on the show, guys aren't talking about the facilities as much anymore. And in an era where it's all about who you're paying and how you're paying it to them and raising money, this $600 million is not coming from tax money. It's coming from grants and private donations. Money's not real in college athletics anymore.
No, money has never been real in college athletics.
The fact that you waited 2 years to pay an additional $150 million and Nebraska hasn't even sniffed the college football playoff up until this point. Also, Auburn, obviously a lot more success more recently than Nebraska, has never made the college football playoff. So the fact, Penn State dumping all that money into Beaver Stadium kind of made sense, right? You made the Final Four 2 years ago. You kind of felt like you had your guy in place, even though he was rubbing some people the wrong way. And James Franklin, obviously, he's out now. But you've had moderate to high-level success at the highest level. And you can get the donors there by saying, listen, all we need to do, don't you want a better viewing experience when you come to Beaver Stadium on Saturday? And this will help us get over the top with recruits. And then we can raise more money by having a better facilities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's really interesting that Nebraska and Auburn are choosing to spend this money into their stadium. And I think Memorial Stadium desperately needs it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Shout out to the 20,000 seat backs that are being put in to the equation. Can we save some money somewhere or take some money from another project and just dump it in to get the whole stadium with seat backs, please? Just asking for a friend. But I find it really interesting that these two programs who have national championship pedigree, have had a ton of success, have Heisman Trophy winners, are helmet game level teams, but haven't had success lately, are choosing to dump this money into their stadiums despite the lack of success on the field, maybe more so in Lincoln than inside of Jordan-Hare.
I'm not terribly surprised by it. I am moderately surprised by the reaction that we've seen out of the Husker faithful today, just in general. But as far as dumping money into college football and being, at the top of the class in stadium, it's about time that Nebraska did this. It makes sense to put butts into seats, and the fact that they're doing it through grants and through private donation money makes a lot more sense than turning it into a tax lien or something like that you could do. In general, I don't think that would have gone over as well with the people of Nebraska than just doing it the way that they are doing it. The rendering that they've made and that they've shown looks nice. It looks a lot like Arrowhead Light
Yeah, fair.
in my mind.
Specifically,
Mainly just because
specifically
it's
the
so
north end
red.
zone. Specifically the north end zone. The portion that I hated, I think it looks great. I think the renderings look good. I like the updates to the outside. Listen, you can tear South Stadium down at this point. It would be a massive improvement for what it actually is.
Yeah.
What I hate that they're taking away is something that I think makes college sports unique that it's not capable of happening at several different schools around the country, but Nebraska is one of those where you can walk the bricks in the concourse and walk around and be essentially right next to the players. Like, they have security down there to keep you off the bricks. You got to stay a certain amount of distance from the fence, you're supposedly. But it provides a unique picture-taking experience where, and I know a lot of people don't know that you can do this, but you can actually walk down to the fence line, take a picture right in front of the team, essentially. You can also watch the tunnel walk from down there. And they're taking that aspect away from it and combining the east and west end zones. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset about that. And I think it's a really interesting decision, but I wonder how much of it's probably a safety precaution as well.
I mean, yeah, I would argue it's probably a safety precaution for one, but the one that I've seen is there are a lot of people who, even though South Stadium, as you have very plainly stated and correctly stated, needs a desperate update, they're going to tear it down and they're going to redo it, and people are mad about the fact that those seats aren't going to be in the stadium for a single season, I would assume.
You know who's not mad? Ticket scalpers. Here's why. Because that right there, what you just mentioned, those 30,000 seats are going to be available, is just going to drive the ticket price and demand up. And especially, if Nebraska starts winning, this is going to be the worst time for this to be happening.
Yeah.
Unless you're a ticket scalper and trying to make money on that third-party market. But and I think a lot of people that have never sat in South End Zone or have had to find their way through the concourse that doesn't exist into South End Zone, the seats themselves, the stadium, it's like the actual sitting in the venue part is the exact same as any other part of the stadium, minus obviously the club level seats.
Oh, yeah.
But the walk to be able to get from your seat, if you're in the upper part of South Stadium, to the bathroom, and back, or to a concession stand, or back, or God forbid, you're one of those brave souls that brings a child with you to Memorial Stadium on a Saturday, and you're in South End Zone, and they have to use the bathroom. God bless you. I'll pray for you tonight. But that's the problem. That's what just desperately needs an upgrade. They were able to do that in the northwest side and the northeast side, but that walk, you can skip leg day for 2 days if you need to, because your calves are going to be burning by the time you get back to your seats. Now, to me, I love South End Zone. I prefer to sit in South End Zone over North End Zone because I like seeing the big board, and I know Husker Vision is throughout the rest of the stadium. But I prefer sitting in this. If I'm not on the sidelines, if I'm not sitting somewhere between the 10 and the 50, I prefer to sit in the South End Zone because I think the view is better.
Yeah. Oh, I would agree 100% with that.
But I make it a point if I'm sitting in South End Zone, because the season tickets that I had 4 years ago were in the South End Zone. I get everything I need before then.
Yep.
And I'm not hitting the restroom or anything else until the end of the game.
Yeah,
because you can go at halftime, you're not getting back. There's no port in the game that is conducive to what you need. And that's the biggest point is they got to be able to provide bathrooms for people on that side of the stadium. And obviously you want concessions on that side of the stadium, especially with alcohol sales now. But for a university and a program that prides themselves on being family entertainment and being able to bring your kids to football games, that is something that they desperately need to do, in my opinion, because obviously I'm looking at this through a different lens now as a father of three.
Yep.
And I just took Ruth to her first football game this past year. We sat 40-yard line for not the UTEP. I can't remember.
Houston Christian?
Houston Christian, yes. Thank you. That was the game we were at because I totally paid attention the entire time. We had to sit on the sidelines because I was like, listen, if you have to use the bathroom, I'm not not walking the stairs at South Stadium.
That was it's
literally a no go for me.
Same exact Houston Christian game. Thank gosh it was a Houston Christian game and it wasn't anything like super important or like super close. For example, Maryland. But I went to that one with my sister. We sat in South End Zone.
Which sister?
Yeah, the one who's like sometimes blonde, sometimes darker hair, she's got her own opinions on it. But we sat in South End Zone, and I remember it was midway through the first quarter. She was like, "You want to go get something to eat?" And I was like, "We'll be back when the second quarter starts."
Yeah.
She was like, "Well, when should we go?" And I was like, "We should go just before halftime if we're up by 28.
Sure. That's when we were making our way to Buzzard Billy's. Good
I
call.
was like, caveats. And by like the third, she was like, all right, we're up like 60 points. And I was like, yeah.
Now's the time.
I was like, this is a good time to go and get something to eat or use the restroom.
I think the only quote bad seats in the entire building are under the overhangs between the 30s because you can barely see the field. I still can't believe that's a thing. But
I've been scammed with those tickets before.
On the north and south end zone, like it's hard to find a bad. I've sat in row 99, the very top of south end zone.
Oh yeah,
for the South Alabama game, Adrian's sophomore year. There's not a bad seat in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope whatever they do to that South Stadium and the renovations they continue, like don't put anything that's going to obstruct views in the way.
Oh yeah, don't
because right now it's just really tough to find a bad seat in that building. But I think it's a necessity. I think it's probably long overdue. I'm really surprised it took as long as they did. Kind of felt like they wanted the stink of Trevor Alberts to wear off of it before they decided to do it because it was technically his under his tutelage, which kind of feels a little shady to me. But I think it looks great. I love that they're keeping the press box the exact same because I think that's one of the best looking press boxes and suites in all of college football. We'll see how the progress goes on that and see if they're actually able to get it done by 2028. I don't think it's going to happen, but we shall see. If you missed the opening segment, check it out.
Pessimist.
Check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tonight it was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. It's going to be a little chilly this week. Back up into the 80s next week because spring is here and your closet needs an upgrade. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, 78th and Dodge. They're your one-stop shop for all of the best spring styles from great-looking brands like Mizzen & Main, Johnny O, Peter Millar, Jack Victor, Roan, and 34 Heritage. Performance gear that looks sharp, feels incredible, and is easy to care for. Just wash, dry, and it's ready to go. It'll feel like the first time you put it on. For over 50 years, Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha in the best. And right now, take advantage of their pre-spring sale. You spend $250, get $50 off. The more you spend at Jerry Ryan, the more you save. Stop by, see John, Dan, and tell them that After Hours Central, they're centrally located on 78th and Dodge. Jackson Smith and Jigba, how long was he wearing the wrong size shoes? We tell you, 1620.
In my underwear, no liquor left on the shelf. I should probably introduce
6:20 on a Friday night here on 6220 Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight. One of the weirdest stories I can remember coming out, and I'm going to say who done it, but who didn't catch this scenario today. Eric Kennedy is the director of equipment for the Seattle Seahawks, and he said today that Jackson Smith-Njigba wore a size 12 cleat in college, and he's now worn a size 10.5. That has helped his long straining hamstring issues a ton. It's not like he was wearing an 11 and it was supposed to be a 12.5. He was a whole size and a half above where he was at.
Yeah.
That's almost over an inch and a half, in case anybody was wondering how shoe size work. How does this happen?
So the short answer is I don't know. The
Fair.
longer answer is it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
He went to Ohio State and then he went to an NFL football team.
So-
now, granted, it's his first season this year with the Seahawks.
Right. So I'm wondering, there's a lot of people to blame here. And hey, listen, shout out to Eric Kennedy. No, this is the point that I'm pointing at you and you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. So, yep, there you go. Edley Hotek, almost said Creighton. Bellevue University athletic director going to join us here next on the segment.
Making the rounds.
Like, I just think about this. Like, you go to a shoe store. I'm wearing these sweet new Jordans right now.
Yeah.
They ask you what size you wear. You just tell them, they just throw them to you. It's not the shoe store's job to make sure it fits. I mean, obviously, they can fit you if you ask them to, correct?
Okay.
Right?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
they
I was
clearly
like,
have the ability to do so.
I was like, that's why they have the
I've-
metal thing that you put your foot in.
I've just never been to a shoe store, and you're a Kicks connoisseur, so this is why I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I've never been to a shoe store and said, hey, I'm because I wear a size 10.5 as well. I've never said, hey, I wear a size 10.5. They go, you sure? No, let's go to the back, get you a box, tell you to go try them on, right?
Yeah.
Like, did Jackson Smith-Njigba never have the Payless moment where you're just at Payless? Your mom's like, all right, where's your toe at? Go walk down the aisle, make sure they feel comfortable.
So
Does every kid get that?
that's what I'm wondering. So first off, I'm wondering, how did you never notice that there was so much extra space
Sure.
in the toes of your shoes?
So,
Two, how wide are your feet actually? Because that is my guess, is that he probably has super wide feet and he's been cramming for years. And a 12 width-wise feels more comfortable to him. And three, shame on you, Ohio State University. I'm going to put a little bit on them because they too have an extremely experienced and probably well-versed training staff there
should anyway.
and equipment staff to say, hey, we are a Nike school. Look at all of these black Nike cleats from size 6.5 all the way up to probably size 22 for the 6'8" offensive lineman.
I do want to know what the smallest size shoe they keep on campus is now that you bring that up.
Probably a 7.
So
to
the
be
reason why I
honest.
think you and I are the best people to have this conversation is you are of shoes. You love
Indeed.
shoes. I have wide set feet and I grind my toes.
Okay.
So I feel like I am the prime example of if there's somebody in the world that's gonna have too big of a shoe, it probably should be me. But the comfort level is important. But the not the headline, but I guess the base of the story is Jackson Smith-Njigba had a ton of hamstring issues at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many guys that are dubbed injury prone or have repetitive injuries or continuous problems. It could be as simple as maybe not just the shoe problem. They may be in the wrong equipment. And there's a lot of guys that come from inner city programs that probably don't have the same amount of money that I don't know. And Ohio, are you having a heart attack right now?
No, I just
Okay. That's,
little burp.
You scared me a minute.
Slight burp. If I was having a real heart attack, you would know it because I would Red Fox it.
It would be great radio. So I'm not saying that you should have a heart attack on air, but I think it would help the ratings.
Elizabeth, I'm coming.
This is the big one. Anyway, I wonder how many guys come in thinking that their shoulder pad size or their helmets or their shoes or their knee pad or what have you is maybe just going with what they've, quote, always worn because that was the only thing readily available and they just assume that's their size.
Mm-hmm.
Versus this is a really bad hamstring on a guy that just can't hold up because they're really fast.
Well, and I'm just more surprised that the university and
university
and Jackson Smith-Njigba at some point, like if I walk into a shoe store, just in general, any shoe store in America, and I say, I want to try on this pair of Nikes. I will look at the person and I will go, may I please get a 10.5 and an 11 and a 10 if you have it.
Fair.
I will go a wide range because all shoes are different. And especially for like football players, they're getting the newest shoe model that their university sponsor provides every single year.
Noah, thoughts?
think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would bet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you run track across the river. When you're going in to shoes are important for track members. I don't know if people know that or not. When you're trying on a pair of shoes, what is the process usually for an athletic shoe that you're going to run on a track? Do they give you multiple options, or is it as simple as I wear this, they hand you that shoe, you put it on, the end?
So usually like I wear really good shoes.
Okay.
That I'm able to run in. So like I wear the Hoka's.
Okay, I was going to ask what brand.
Yep.
Okay.
And they really help, especially for a 400 runner, because like they got like nice cushion in there, and it doesn't like feel like your feet are burning when you're like running
Right.
for like a long time.
I gotta wonder because obviously Jackson Smith-Njigba just had one of the best seasons in NFL history as a wide receiver. Like, at what point did this get diagnosed? This had to have been an early onset thing, and I would love to hear his thoughts on like the way his foot felt after they made the fix.
Yeah. So from seeing like a little bit of the Hard Knocks thing that like all the players go through when they kind of get like the early intake
Yeah.
to a football team, I have a feeling that this equipment manager probably on like day one when they brought him in and said, "Hey, here's a helmet. Try this on. How does it feel? How does it fit? Do you like the way that the front sits, the back sits?"
Sure.
They probably did the same thing where they went, "What size shirt do you wear?" "I'm a medium." "Okay, here are 50,000 medium shirts that all have the team name on them. What size shorts do you wear? Here are all the shorts." And they probably said, "All right." And if you had to pick, because they have all of the cleats possible, what kind of cleats do you usually like to wear? And he'd go, "Oh, I like the Nike Vaporflex," and probably a size 12. And I bet that equipment manager had him try them on and was like, "Oh, just like do like a quick walk for me." And he probably went silent and probably eyes bugged out and went,
Well,
"You sure you're a size 12, buddy?"
this isn't the first shoe gate scenario, right? Like, think back to Zion at Duke when he had the shoe blowout,
Yeah.
and it was a big deal for Nike and all of that. Like, that had to start grabbing the attention of somebody, right? Like, in equipment departments going, let's make sure these dudes are wearing the right size shoes and the right fit, because we can't make Nike or Adidas or whoever your school is look bad on national TV when the eventual number one pick in the NBA draft is having a blowout on your court. Kind of feels like that's something that was probably being addressed around the country and around major sports by those equipment managers. If you missed our segment on Jackson Smith-Njigba, check it out tonight on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Timber Wood Fire Bistro, right here in the heart of Omaha, 91st and Pacific. Timber is a place where wood fire oven keeps you coming back because the great flavor it adds to your food, but the atmosphere makes you stay. Open concept cooking, where you can see your favorite handmade pizzas being made right in front of you. Stop by Timber Wood Fire Bistro. Try the Timber Pie. It's my personal favorite. It's going to be your new favorite pizza in all of Omaha. Check out Timber Wood Fire Bistro tonight. Edley Hotek, the athletic director at Bellevue University, joins us next. 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for our friend Bob Williams at Williams Law. Let Bob and his team defend you or your loved ones that maybe have been wrongfully accused, or maybe you made a mistake, got behind the wheel of a car after having too much to drink, and you're wondering what your rights are. Don't face a judge or jury alone. You need somebody to defend you that you can count on, something that you deserve. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Get a free, no obligation legal consultation tonight. Bob and his team will sit you down, explain your rights, get you ready for your big day in court, and make sure you're prepared when you walk in the courtroom. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. .634 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. No school on Fridays. The majority of schooling done online, and live sports right on your campus. And those sports are ran by this gentleman sitting to my right next, the athletic director at Bellevue University. Edley Hotek joins us in studio for his biannual visit to the studio. Oh, Dan, we turn Ed's microphone on. It's not on. There we go. Let's try it again. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate you making the stop in today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into the administrative stuff right off the jump, because you guys are doing a ton of work down there on that campus to make campus life better, make more room for more folks from either out of town or in the metro area to come down to Bellevue University and live on campus. Can you talk a little bit about the job that you guys are doing and some of the efforts you're putting into the campus to make campus life more campus life-esque?
Well, of course, as you know, we just built a new field house facility.
Oh, did you?
Yes, for the basketball and volleyball teams. 2 courts. We have a golf room in there, and that's open to the student body. We have a fantastic weight room. That's open to the student body anytime they want to come up and do weights. We built a turfed baseball, softball, soccer field.
Yeah, looks great, by the way.
They look really good. They are remodeling the student center. I think this summer they're going to start on that to make it more of a cafeteria type of an experience as opposed to what it is.
That's the old. Is that the old den? The Jerry Monster Court. Is that what you're referring to?
No.
Okay,
It's the student center, which is the next building up across that wooden bridge.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep.
No, that building is going to be renovated. The gym floor is going to be cut in half.
Okay.
And we're adding, I should say, men and women's wrestling this fall. We've just hired 2 coaches, one for the men, one for the women. For the back half.
Can you announce who those are yet? Is that early?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
They start Monday. The men's coach is Josh Watts, who is with Concordia University. Yep. And the women's coach is Matt Atwood from Providence University in Montana. Who's actually in our conference. So,
yeah.
So he's coming. So the back half of the gym is going to be renovated to turn it into practice for wrestling. Bring the mats in for the
space
wrestling.
Is perfect.
Yeah, there's locker rooms there.
Yeah.
Training room, everything's there for them. Competitions will be held in the new facility.
Well, excuse me, I'm sorry, because I got to ask, because you and I have had conversations, whether it be in this chair at the field house, just over the phone, about new things coming to Bellevue and things that are done. We've never had the conversation about wrestling. Where did that kind of idea come from, and how did that come about?
You know, we've been talking about it for the last 2 years, probably.
Sure.
And then I really got serious about it. The gentleman who's the head of the National Coaches Wrestling Association got a hold of us and started talking about the pros and the cons. And we did want to build the student body a little bit more.
Fair.
And doing that, we'll add, 40 to 60 kids pretty quick. So then finally, the good Dr. Hawkins said, let's do it. And so we posted for the applicants. We had over 65 applications for the wrestling job.
Wow.
And we hired these 2, and we're very pleased with the selection.
Sure.
And so if anybody's out there listening and they're a wrestler or want to be a wrestler in college, in about 2 weeks when they're
could have a new home for you.
Start calling.
I have to ask, and I don't want you to break your arm patting yourself on the back, because you do that enough as is. But
anyway.
But it's really hard to look at the roster of coaches you have, whether it be Lucas Gabriel, whether it be Dwayne Monlux, whether obviously you're a little impartial to your softball coach for several reasons, but she's pretty good at her job along the way. Or Trish Sedlick, who just a year ago was the national runner-up. You got a really great roster of coaches on that campus. When you're talking to somebody coming in for the first time or opening up a new program, what is, I don't know if sales pitch is the right word. Does it feel at times that you're having to sell Bellevue University, or are there times where it feels like the other way around?
It's kind of a mix. I know all the applicants, when we finally windowed it down to just a handful, and including the 2 we hired, they all had the same question: how come none of your staff ever leaves? Sure. And
they've all been there quite a while.
Quite a while, they really have. But well, we support them quite well. We have good athletic scholarships.
None of them ever have anything good to say about you.
I know that's, and they shouldn't. They, we have good budgets. For NAI, we have really, really good budgets, and the coaches know this.
Yeah.
They have autonomy from the standpoint they can set their own schedules for who they play, other than conference, of course. That's a done deal. And they just like it there. It's a very friendly university. It's a very friendly staff. The faculty is very supportive.
Other than have to deal with Bill Mullins, it's usually pretty easy.
But he's a pain, but that's okay. We keep him too. the faculty gets along with the athletes get along with the faculty.
Yeah.
And it's really just a good mix all around.
Just had Lucas Gabriel, the head men's basketball coach, and Jaden Phillips in here the other night, and just the rapport those two have between each other. And I don't think you have very similar personalities between those two guys. It's just the way they gel is just kind of like an all-encompassing image for me of what Bellevue University is, where you can show up to a softball game, the entire volleyball teams down the third baseline, or 4 or 5 different of the sports programs show up at both women's and men's basketball games. Why is that an effort on campus to make that happen, or encourage? I guess not make, but encourage athletes to support other teams, or is that just something that happens on that campus?
Again, it's a mix. We do
Sure.
encourage them to, but they're not forced to. They're not told they
Right.
have to.
Yeah, and that's readily
Uh,
apparent, by the way.
And with the sports we have, they get to know each other quite a bit. They take classes together.
Okay.
So they tease each other. There's a competition.
Yeah.
Our team did better than your team.
Yeah.
Really? Well, let's see what we're going to do now.
We had more team players show up, but you're getting the head
Yes,
show up at our
exactly,
stuff thing.
that
Yeah.
type of thing. And
Yeah.
so the kids get along very, very well. We're very happy with the academic side. We got like 215 athletes on campus, and the last year, and it should be better this year, but last year's athletic department GPA was 3.21.
Nice. Okay.
So,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I brought up Jaden a minute ago, and I want to ask about that situation because he's a rare case where he took a year off to focus on academics. When a player is making that decision, or if the decision is being forced upon them because of where their grades are, is that the athletic director's realm of conversation at all? Is that stuff you try to get involved with? Are you forced to? Would you rather stay out of those conversations, or do you let the coaching staff handle that?
Well, what happens, the coaching staff comes to me and says, this is what we'd like to do.
Sure.
So I would say, why? Is this in the best interest of the kid?
Yeah.
And they explain, and in his case, it was his best
Sure.
interest to do
Yeah.
this.
As showed this year, by the
Yeah.
way, he played incredible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, it's kind of, again, I know it sounds redundant, but it's a mix. I work with the coaches in
Sure.
different situations and areas. They're coming to me and say, hey, we're recruiting this kid, but, this, and this. Well, think about this.
Sure.
You really want that kid?
Yeah.
The reverse, yes, you really do want that kid. Go for him. And we'll have
Right.
to do what we can to get him.
Oh, we'll talk about the other sports in a minute, but back to men's basketball for a situation. These are conversations that you and I have had privately, and Lucas Gabriel and I had privately that I'm sure neither one of you have a problem with me sharing. But obviously, last year's men's basketball season didn't go the way that a lot of us had hoped it would.
No.
We've all had conversations about that in this room and outside of it. But 2 years ago, 2-9 start, win a conference championship, win a tournament championship, find your way to the tournament as a 16 seed, which is almost as big of a travesty as what happened this year in the seeding process. But then last year happens, down season, completely restructure the season this year around guys like Jaden Phillips, guys like RJ Smith, like we just talked about, and then go on a run, have a really good conference season, start the season, was it 15-0, correct, to start the year, somewhere around that range. You're now in a multi-bid league, still have a pretty dominant performance in conference play despite not winning the tournament or the regular season, get to the tournament as maybe the worst seeded 14 seed of all time, win a tournament game, get to the second round. When you're talking to other athletic directors, or you're discussing around the NAIA realm about men's basketball or some of the bigger sports on your campus, obviously Bellevue, widely renowned for the performance in baseball, and Dwayne Monlex and what he's been able to do there as well. What are kind of the things you hear about your university, or maybe some of your top programs, whether it be Trish's volleyball program almost winning the national championship, men's basketball, multiple national championships, multiple tournament appearances, Bellevue baseball, multiple national championships. What are some of the things people say about Bellevue's programs around the country when you're talking to them about it?
Well, things have now changed drastically, because prior to this year, we had no facilities other than an extremely small gym, which
Sure. We
Set,
called it an intimate environment. You don't have to say
very
really small.
intimate environment. And they're always, how do you guys do this?
Sure.
You rent your baseball fields, your soccer fields, your softball fields. You have to release them. You don't have your own. Your gym, most middle schools in the city had a better gym than we had, realistically.
Shout out to Bellevue West for hosting the volleyball nationals this
Yeah,
year.
absolutely. They had to, because
Yeah.
our ceiling was too low to
Right.
host the regionals. For,
I think Eve Fountain hit her head on the ceiling one time.
Exactly. So that's what they're always very incredulous to how we were so successful
Sure.
with what facility-wise, what little we had.
Mhm.
And it really went back down to explaining that we have coaches that don't go anywhere. They're all allowed a full-time assistant. They
Yeah.
work very, very hard at recruiting. One of their requirements are they have to be very honest, open, and transparent with recruits. We don't put any other schools down. We never say, well, you don't want to go there for this reason. No, you want to go there, go there.
Yeah.
We don't do that. And so this year now, I just got back from the national convention in Kansas City, and it was more compliments because of the new facility.
Sure.
Everybody knew
It's
we had
beautiful,
that,
yeah.
and, the new softball, baseball, soccer field. So yeah, pretty interesting.
I've never heard Lucas Gabriel refer to you as anything other than coach. Obviously, you have a background in coaching as well. How does that help you do your job?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't
Sure.
know. I don't know if it really does one way or the other. I mean,
Okay.
almost all the coaches call me coach
Yeah.
because of that. It's just a common.
Except for
courtesy,
Michaela
I
Semino,
guess,
she
yeah.
calls you something else. But
No, she calls me. Coach or-
okay.
or Ed.
That's not what you call. That's not what I heard her call you.
Well,
But
I know, that's behind my back.
yeah.
And in case you're viewing public or
Sure.
listening
Yeah.
public is wondering,
Certain words we can't use on the radio.
and Coach Semina
Yeah.
is my oldest daughter.
Yes.
And here's the interesting part. I did not hire her
Oh, okay.
because when I became athletic director and had to give up the coaching,
Yeah.
put a committee together and had no idea she was interested. She was the assistant coach at UNO. And then
Right.
she decided she wanted to become a head coach. So the instant she applied, I had to recuse myself. And I did.
Right decision to
So
make.
off
Sure.
the committee. I was off the committee. And one person knew she was my daughter, never said anything to the rest of the committee.
That's awesome.
And that's who they
Sure.
selected. Yeah. So
And again, we're catching up with the athletic director at Bellevue University, Edley Hotek, here on the After Hours show. We talked a lot about it and the efforts you guys are making to make campus life a better environment down there. If somebody's listening in the Omaha area right now, they're trying to pick and choose. Maybe they're not playing sports; they're just looking for a place to call home for the next 4 years after leaving high school. Why should they go to Bellevue University?
they should go to Bellevue University. One, as a private school, our tuition is very, very reasonable.
Mhm.
Second, we have housing. A lot of people don't realize that. We do
Sure.
have housing. We have both athletes and non-athletes living there. And again, it's very affordable and very reasonable. Class size is average about 22. You will get to know your professors.
Sure.
And yes, we do have a lot of online classes, but we also have a lot of residential classes. And again, it gets to be quite the great relationship between the students and the professors. So it's a great family environment. It's pretty interesting from that standpoint. For example, the president, Dr. Mary Hawkins, is well known on campus.
Yeah, you'll see her.
Yeah, you will. And then you can go up and talk to her.
Sure.
She has an open door policy. So it's just a very family oriented type university. And I think young kids really, really enjoy it.
This is a conversation you and I have had several times. What are I feel like every conversation we've had, you guys have, I don't know if fix is the right word, but addressed it. What are some of the hurdles that the university is facing that you guys are planning on getting over hurdle wise in the near future?
Ooh, good question. We want to grow the traditional student body.
Yeah.
Okay. We need some marketing support. We need to hit the high schools a little harder
Sure.
in the area. And if we can get back up to 1,000 to 1,200 traditional students, we're sitting at 600 now
Sure.
and a little over 600. So if we can get back up to 1,000, 1,200, that would make it very successful. And that would be in joint with the online
Enrollment.
enrollment we have, which is nationwide. I mean, it's
Sure.
very, very big.
That's the athletic director down at Bellevue University, Edley Hotek. I appreciate you doing this with us, boss. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
If you missed that segment or you want to find out more about Bellevue University, you can check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com tonight. It was brought to you by Mad Hatter Auto Repair. If you have a vehicle that's been acting up or making a weird sound and you've been debating whether you want to drive off the side of the road, just leave it there or get it fixed. We've got the location for you, 140th and Center or right over in Council Bluffs off Broadway. Two great locations. All you got to do is follow the little white rabbit down the rabbit hole and get your car fixed by somebody you can trust. Bring back to if you ever have any other issues, and they will treat you like royalty at Mad Hatter Auto Repair. Stop by, get your vehicle fixed tonight. We'll be right back finding out what's trending on social media. 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Recon Pest Services. I've been telling you for 2 years now, we only work with Recon when it comes to pest control. We had a wasp problem. They kept coming back. We had 2 other pest control companies come out, spray our yard. Wasps just kept reappearing. Recon came out one time. They sprayed. We haven't seen a wasp since. And they came out a couple of weeks ago and sprayed for pests in the spring season. We haven't seen an insect anywhere near our house. If you want protection like that for your home this spring and summer, head over to ReconPestServices.com tonight. Is it readily apparent that me and Edley Hotek could just sit in a room and talk for hours?
Yes, it is. I actually thought that was going to go for another 30 minutes.
I love picking that man's brain just on anything to do with athletics. I don't know if you caught this because you were looking for the social media soundbite. We had like 11 topics that we were supposed to talk about that we didn't even get to.
Did not get to many of them.
And I apologize. We'll have you back in studio to talk about other things. I mean, he's just been an athletic director for so long and in that power chair down at that university that just wins national championships or qualifies for national tournaments and has tons of success in several different sports. So
It's not his fault that he's good at it.
just being able to
And
pick
there's a
his-
lot to talk about.
just being able to pick his brain and all that stuff is just always such a good time. And we're long overdue for a lunch date, so I'll have to get that on the books as well. But before we get to that, there's an event of great significance this weekend.
Indeed, there is.
Noah Houston has the social media soundbite for us tonight. Noah, go ahead and fire it up. No, go ahead and pause that. Yeah, so that's the number one contender for the women's championship at night one of WrestleMania in Liv Morgan, and she's not kidding about that goose egg. She took a headbutt to the forehead by accident, and it sticks out about 4 inches off of her dome.
And the black eye too.
Yeah,
When I first pulled that video up, I was like, "Oh, that is Liv Morgan." I was like, "That is
yeah, it doesn't
a
look like
face.
her.
That is a face changer."
Yeah, she listen, and I think a lot of people, and to get into WrestleMania for a minute, but a lot of people discredit some of her early work because of the success she's had over the last couple of years. But like the way she came into WWE is just kind of like the third member of her group that didn't get talked about, just kind of stood in the corner and had the pretty face, to the character she has now, where she's one of the pillars of the company to some degree. It is strictly just a credit to her talent, and that's gonna be one of the matches of this weekend. I was talking to a good friend of the show, Mike Neville, before the show tonight. He is actually going to be participating in watching his first WrestleMania ever this weekend. So I'll be interested to get his. No, are you a wrestling guy?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Any plans to watch WrestleMania this weekend at all? Is that happening in the dorms over at Iowa Western?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
We'll have WrestleMania on.
I think it's going to be a great show. It's going to be great. A 2-night event. I hate that it's 2 nights, if I'm being completely honest. I wish they would make it back to 1, but the way that those the rosters have just kind of exploded, you kind of have to do it 2 nights now. I wish they would find a way to make it back into. Super Bowl's not 2 nights. You know what I mean? Like, this is the Super Bowl of pro wrestling. But it should be a great couple of shows, good couple of evenings. I will, surprise, be watching this weekend. If you missed the social media soundbite tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by our friends at AX Plumbing. 'Tis the season for tree roots to be clogging your drain. And I can tell you from personal experience, if you need your drain completely cleared out, a water jetting process by AX Plumbing is here to help you. If you've gone past that element, you need the entire main drain replaced, they can help you out with that at axpservice.com as well. That's a big-time plumbing problem. If you don't have a big-time plumbing budget, there's financing available on the website as well. Check out axpservice.com tonight. We buy or sell with Noah Houston on the other side of the break, 1620 zone. Much better. Good job. Thank you. Top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, Dan Campen, and Noah Houston producing tonight. And we've made it an hour into the show while burying the lead with Noah here. This show got some major national recognition at no doing of our own. Noah Houston was his story was picked up by locally here, KETV, excuse me.
KTV.
And then that got picked up by CNN.
Yep.
And Noah and his mom Lynn were featured in the show, and My Ugly Mug was on CNN. Thanks to Noah. I don't think I ever wanted that to happen, but I appreciate that. But man, your story is so unique, and we were kind of waiting for your time here to come to an end at some point to tell the story, but obviously you forced our hand by getting nationally recognized on television to be able to tell the story. You were diagnosed at a very young age with autism, and there was discussion whether you'd ever be able to walk, drive, do things on your own. Now you're a college student with a job and finally got kicked out of your mom's house at some point. But can you just talk about your journey a little bit, man? Obviously, probably told a lot in your life that you wouldn't or can't do things. And what about you has made you be able to overcome that doubt or maybe overcome your disability to some degree?
Well, so ever since I was diagnosed at 2 years old, I believe that being able to work hard and get better every day and just, improve and
Is that a big deal for you?
really big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then get all the doubt out of the way.
You obviously were willing to go on camera and talk about it, and we've never brought it up on this show because we don't look at you as somebody as a disability, because you obviously overcome it every single day. When you say it's a big deal for you to prove that you can do it, is it a big deal for you to be kind of an advocate for others too?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why is that a big deal for you?
because my journey is really important, especially like if I wasn't expected to talk back then as of 2 years old,
Sure.
and where I've came out now is just incredible.
Yeah, we can't get you to shut up sometimes. No, I'm joking, man. But I'm super proud of you, dude. I'm very happy with what you've been able to do here over the past couple of months, the success you've had running track at Iowa Western. And again, thank you for all you've done here, and then obviously the national notoriety for our show. We do have buy or sell. Do you have the topics ready to go?
I do.
Buy or sell that After Hours makes it on CNN at some point in this lifetime. I would have never bought that. But go ahead, Noah. What do you got?
I would have sold.
Yeah.
All right, so with the draft coming up really soon, some players are feeling like airing some dirty laundry.
Boy,
Zay Flowers of the Ravens has come out on the Fourth and South podcast and said Harbaugh's practices led to injuries. Buy or sell? It is good practice for players to be airing out a franchise in this manner.
I sell it. This is a horrible idea, because at some point, your time with that franchise is going to come to an end. I know it's really hard to believe for the type A number one roster guys to think I'm eventually not going to be here, or I'm eventually not going to have this level of skill set, and I'm going to need to find another home. This is going to, when Zay Flowers eventually runs out of time with the Ravens, this is going to come up in the interview process.
Yeah, and overall too, I don't think it goes without saying that this is a bad look for a wide receiver to be saying this.
Fair enough.
Because it already, you already kind of get the diva tag sometimes as
Sure.
a wide receiver if you are seen on the sidelines just pouting in general. And
Case in point, AJ Brown right now.
for him to be doing that on a podcast in the offseason and right before the draft, I think it cools a lot of people, and someone who carries as much weight as he does with that franchise, not a very good look for him to be saying that at this point in time.
I'm really surprised with how okay some franchises seem to be with their guys doing podcasts. I'm even more surprised the fact that football players want to do podcasts.
Yeah.
It's very weird to me.
I find it more strange that Roger hasn't cracked down on this at
Sure.
all, because being the ultimate protect the shield guy, boy howdy, have there been a lot of guys recently who are not protecting that shield.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems to be like I think about guys like Michael Irvin and guys of that generation, like the generation before mine, that like you just never heard anything about. And then like after they played football, their stories came out because they were TV guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't you have more to be worried about if you're Zay Flowers or a number one wide receiver in the NFL than telling your story during your playing career? It's very surprising to me.
Yeah, it's always weird, especially, I mean, a lot of like the stuff that you see from like the Bussin' with the Boys podcast.
Right. Will
Which-
Compton, after his career, did a podcast.
Well, which I respect, and they bring a lot of guys on, and they are constantly like, so You ever take any of that vitamin T on the sidelines to get you right during a game? I'm really surprised how many guys are just like, yeah, of course. Of course I've done Toradol.
You also got guys talking about using Stickum illegally and things like that too. No, what
Yeah,
else we got?
Of course.
So the folks in Durham have locked down their coach. Manny Diaz will be at the helm for 5 more years. Buy or sell, Diaz completes his tenure.
Oh, that's a great question. Because he's shockingly 52 years old. Like he looks 35.
Yeah,
He's 52.
he looks like a youth.
I sell because I think he's going to be able to win at a level that he's going to get a bigger job than Duke.
Okay. So
You're going the opposite direction.
no.
Oh.
So when I originally thought of this question, I figured as like a framing of it that it was 5 years of will he be fired before then? But it's a good point. Manny Diaz has had a lot of success at Duke.
Durham's not South Beach, right? I mean, obviously it didn't work out in Miami, and Mario Cristobal's had more success than Manny Diaz ever did. But you win at an ACC program, that's usually a stepping stone to the next level. And it sounds like Duke's paying players, so
Yeah, and I appreciate the Jimmy Glass half full kind of view on this. And I thought he was
an
going to finish.
optimist. Many people refer to me as.
I thought he was going to finish out his tenure at Duke no matter what.
Sure.
I was like, 5 years, he'll be there all 5 years. He's been as successful as you can possibly be at Duke in a sport that generally for the Blue Devils gets overlooked.
No, what else we got?
Anthony Edwards has been denied postseason award eligibility based on the number of games he's played. This comes on the heels of Luka and Cade Cunningham's successful appeals. Buy or sell, Ant deserves to be eligible for MVP.
All I hear is Killmonger on the waterfall screaming, "Is this your king?" Because a lot of people want Anthony Edwards to be the face of the league in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be, this is going to come as shock to absolutely nobody and probably relate to our audience. I've watched 0 NBA basketball this year. I have never been less interested in the NBA in my life. And I think a lot of it is derivative of the fact that I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. We shipped Luka Doncic off for a wash machine and a bag of peanuts. And yes, I know they didn't actually get Cooper Flag in the deal, but they got Cooper Flag in the deal. And it's fine. I don't know. I have 0. That might even be a high number interest in the NBA right now.
And this will come as a surprise to you, Jimmy, because I sell.
Wow, that does come to as a surprise.
Anthony Edwards is my boy. The Timberwolves are my team, but the reasons for him not being on the floor, while valid and while they all make sense, they're all injury related. They're all usage related. Whereas Cade Cunningham, when he was unable to play basketball, he had this thing called a collapsed lung. If you ever
Rub
heard of
some
that,
dirt on it, kid.
you can't really play with a collapsed lung.
Now that attitude.
And Luka Doncic, while a little bit of a softer reason,
Not fat anymore, famously.
he went 2 days over 2 games over, the eligibility requirement of 65 games.
Because of his injury.
No, actually.
Oh.
Partially because he was injured, but also partially to be present at the birth of his daughter,
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
for which he was unavailable for 2 games.
Shea
And
gonna
to
win
that,
it?
I say, no. Well, okay. So Shea is probably going to win,
But he should not.
but he
Thank
should
you.
not. It should be Victor Wembanyama because of and Brody and I had this discussion a little bit. Or I think, no, it was either Brody or Jake. I
Sure.
can't remember which. Shea is the flashier player that they definitely want to also make the face of the league right now. And they want to do that rivalry in the West between the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder for some reason. I don't see why. Wembanyama should win it this year simply because of the way that team is advanced and has flowered underneath him. And they're just, he's a 7'4" center who can shoot the 3 ball like lights out. It's crazy.
Noah, how versed are you in the NBA?
Well, I really like to see Victor Wembanyama.
Hold on, that's not what I asked. How
Yeah.
versed do you watch a lot of NBA basketball?
I do.
Can you tell me who the number 1 seed in the East is right now?
Number 1 seed in the East right now. It's the Pistons.
I would not have known the answer to that question. I just assumed it was the Celtics. That's what I get. That's why I started laughing,
You know why I would have known that?
because you watched the NBA.
Because Joey Colbert's been talking about
yeah.
it for the last 2
Like,
months.
I would-
Shout out Joey Colbert.
I could name Cade Cunningham. I don't know if I could name one other person. Is Tobias Harris still on the Pistons?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I believe
I
so.
know 2 Detroit Pistons.
And they have a Jalen. Every NBA team has a Jalen.
Oh,
That is
okay.
a fact.
What else we got in buy or sell, Noah?
So Illinois is going to be looking very similar next year. The Eastern European flavor is coming back. Today, Andrei Sjakovic announced he is going to be coming back, giving 4 out of their starting 5. Buy or sell, the Illini run it back.
Listen, I think they're going to be the odds-on favorite to win the national championship because of this news. Well, I guess Boozer's coming back to Duke, so maybe that's
Yes,
the
he
answer.
is.
But
One of the boozers is coming.
they're going to be considered one of the favorites, probably to win the Big Ten for sure, and definitely contender to win the national championship. And obviously, the run this year helps, and the Big Ten kind of being able to get that monkey off their back as well. But I think this is why I find college basketball, I think, more interesting than the NBA right now. Is like talent is sticking around, and you got more guys coming back to college than we ever had before because of the NIL portion of it. But which was kind of the advent for people not really liking college basketball because of the one and done rules and things like
Yeah.
that. And that's why I think they've got a real shot in the arm. But I think Illinois is going to be the team to beat in the Big Ten next season.
Yeah, I think Illinois got a really good chance of repeating in the Big Ten and probably also making a really, really deep tournament run next year, just because, like you said, they've got a lot of talent coming back. And it seems that at least this past year, that kind of starting 5 that they had, they all gelled together pretty well. And I think you can sub in a lot of good pieces from off their bench and they're going to be A-okay.
Illinois didn't win the Big Ten this year.
Did they not?
No, Purdue did. You don't remember that run at the end of the season?
I do, but
Yeah.
wow.
Okay. Sorry. No. What else? we got?
Basketball season has been wiped from my brain.
Fair enough. It's April.
All right, so Brett Veach has a prediction. Lots of draft night trades. Buy or sell, we see more than 4 trades in round 1.
Buy, hammer, and hold. Yeah. We're gonna get into this in the 7:30 segment, but the lack of star power in this draft is going to drive that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I agree with Brett Veach. It's going to be wild on draft night. We're going to have a lot of close-up shots of Mel Kiper Jr. and Adam Schefter delivering the news that such and such team has made a trade with such and such team to do this, that, and the third. It's going to go way over 4.
I have a hot take. I'm ready for Mel Kiper Jr. to walk away. I'm ready for Mel Kiper Jr. just to be done and not be on my TV ever again.
I'm perfectly fine with that, especially after I learned why Mel Kiper Jr. like specifically is the like draft analyst. To learn that he basically created a draft guide and forced himself down ESPN's throat for like 8 seasons in a row. And they finally were like, all right, we'll give you a job.
Hey, it's persistency. A lot of people get jobs that way.
Come join the draft night coverage. And then for him to, I mean, literally just rub everyone the wrong way.
Todd.
Oh my gosh. If I have, and it's like he sleeps in a cryo chamber. He comes out every year just when like the draft is about to come around, like a month before it. And then he just goes away.
That's Buy or Sell. If you missed it tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village. Hand-making pasta daily for over 40 years in the Omaha area. It is the date night experience you've been looking for. It's a Friday night. Head over to Rockbrook Village tonight. $2 off every glass of wine in the entire joint. And the perfect first impression, you just met the lady of your life for the first time. Take her out to Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village tonight. We'll be right back. Speaking of food, what are the best items on each fast food joint's menu? We'll tell you this out of the break. 1620 Zone.
I see you coming around. Don't let go. You know I'm holding you down.
7:23 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, Noah Houston, Dan Campanen with you here tonight. It's not officially list season yet until we have a list on this show, which makes tonight the official kickoff of list season. So
Best time of the year.
we love our friends at Pasta Amore and at Timber and Marrow and Railcar, but those oftentimes require you to sit down or get food to go. I got to thinking tonight, what are the best options when you're going through a drive-through and going quick? And I was
Okay.
Noah, you weren't here for this, but was it 3 weeks ago? Dan set the internet on fire. Dan had people calling into the show, leaving comments on. People were texting me directly because of a statement that Dan made. Dan, no, I'm interested to hear if you find this intriguing. Let's see if you can guess. You'll take a guess what Dan's favorite ice cream flavor is. Look at Dan. Look at Dan right now. Observe. Break it down. What would you think this human being's favorite ice cream flavor is?
Probably like mint Oreo.
No, that's actually mine.
It's too spicy for me.
Dan's favorite ice cream flavor is vanilla.
Oh,
That was my actually. I was laughing a lot harder than you are, but yes, that was my reaction as well. So I was interested and intrigued to rejoin the scary part of the world that is Dan Campenen's brain about some fast food joints. I'm going to give you my favorite food item on the menu from this place. So I'm stopping by. Noah, you can join in as well. But I'm intrigued what your favorite food items on the respective menus.
Okay.
When I go to Burger King, which is very rare, I'm a big fan of the number 2, the Texas Double Whopper. You got to get a side of buffalo sauce to go with it. It's great. You're going to Burger King. What is your go-to menu item?
Like the whole order?
Sure.
Cool. So it's 2 junior Whoppers or 1 regular Whopper,
Okay.
fries, and a root beer.
Because
King
you're
root
4 years old.
Well, I can't eat a hamburger.
No, I'm talking about the root beer.
Root beer's great. Okay.
Okay, what's your
This is another
go-to,
one.
what's your go-to root beer flavor?
Oh, Barks.
Okay.
Barks root beer is number 1 forever
Sure.
and ever.
I think I'm in agreement with you there.
Also, so you know the
Close second say A&W.
picture that you like put out all the time where I'm like screaming? That
Bad look, Kish, you're wondering.
that is actually from this very radio station
I know. You're in that chair.
in reaction to Connor Happer's take on root beer.
It's very
He does
mid.
not like root beer.
It's mid.
Root beer is A1.
No, what's your go-to at Burger King? You're a college student. You probably have these at the top of mind. You're probably eating this week.
well, I barely go to Burger King.
I can say he's also an athlete.
That's true.
Yeah. But if I do end up going to Burger King, like sometimes I'd get their cheeseburger, make it a double,
Okay.
put some mustard and pickle on it.
All right. Why are you so tan?
You know,
I just don't know why I just noticed that.
it's been really warm out and we be practicing a lot outside. And
Sure.
it's great being out in sun. So,
All right.
yeah.
Famously, if I'm not incorrect, Noah, isn't this what we would call outdoor season?
Yep.
Yep.
So isn't the best way to prepare for outdoor track to practice outdoor on the track?
While getting tan. You're at McDonald's. What's your go-to?
So double quarter pounder with cheese.
My man. All right.
Double quarter pounder with cheese is probably my favorite.
I feel like there was something else there that maybe you're embarrassed to say because I made fun of you about root beer. What did you hold back? Because I know there was something.
Sprite, fries,
Okay.
and McDonald's is the one that if I go to it, it's
Okay.
because
You're a McFlurry guy, right?
I don't eat McFlurries
Oh, okay.
because it's
I don't
got
think I've ever had one.
it's got stuff in it. I don't need stuff.
Okay.
It ruins
this is
the
a-
vanilla
whoa,
ice
whoa, whoa,
cream.
whoa, this is a great
Whoa.
take. Do you not like candy in your ice cream?
No, I love candy in my ice cream.
Oh, see, dude, I'm all the way out on it. I hate how it gets hard and I hate chewing. Like
That's it. So the Oreo McFlurry is the best McFlurry at McDonald's because it's not
you said you don't.
candy, it's
You
cookies.
said you don't.
That was a
McFlurry.
joke, Jimmy.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course I
All
eat
right.
McFlurries. It's ice cream. Ice cream in any form is great.
Good take. Noah, which makes your vanilla take even more. The fact that you believe that and then your favorite ice cream is vanilla makes the take even more weird.
What's in the middle of a plain old ice cream sandwich? Vanilla.
Yeah.
What's in the middle of a Big Bopper? Vanilla.
What's a big bopper?
It's the ice cream sandwich that's 2 cookies.
Oh, that's what I didn't know.
That's
I learned something
the
today.
Big Bopper, quote unquote, is what like the Blue Bunny company calls it when they package
Sure,
it
sure, sure.
and they
Gotcha.
sell it to you out of a truck.
No,
or-
what's your go-to at McDonald's?
So last time I even had McDonald's food.
When was the last time you had McDonald's? Do you remember?
Oh, it was like last summer, like
Okay,
once.
it's been a while.
So usually I get a cheeseburger, put the mustard and pickles on it, and then get the fries and get an Oreo McFlurry.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a big cheeseburger guy. No,
Yep.
what is your favorite menu item at Runza?
cheese runza,
Okay.
large frings, and just any. Usually, if I'm at Runza, it's lemonade. I don't know why. Yellow cup, yellow drink.
I
it
should
makes
have
sense.
known that I should have asked you what your go-to drink was at these restaurants because it'd be weird.
McDonald's Sprite. It's the best.
Okay.
They've got something.
I don't know how more people haven't tried the Frings thing because Frings is what makes Runza elite, in my opinion.
Yes, it is
I
100% the
could get-
greatest thing that they have.
There are people, and by people I mean me. They get genuinely excited when an extra onion ring ends up in their fries.
Yo.
Why don't some people just offer Frings? Noah, do I need to ask, or is it just a cheeseburger with ketchup and pickles at Runza?
It's the same thing.
Okay. What's your go-to drink?
Well, it's not really a drink, but it's like a shake. I
Yeah,
get
is it
the
strawberry?
strawberry? Yeah.
I mean, dude, Runza's strawberry shake, elite. Good take.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Broncos, great hamburgers and food, not on our list. The best chocolate milkshake I've ever had is at Broncos. Throwing that out there. You don't go there a lot. I go there more than I should. Taco John's.
Honestly, I haven't gone to Taco John's in years,
Okay.
and that is a shame to my Midwestern
Hater.
roots.
Yeah.
Potato Olays, though,
Sure.
there is
Okay.
nothing better than the potato Olays at Taco John's.
I've realized this about myself. I'm a big sauce and like condiments guy. I think McDonald's barbecue sauce is elite. Burger King's buffalo sauce is really good. The sour cream at Taco John's is the best sour cream in the world. Just throwing that out there. You got a favorite Taco Bell?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you why off air
Oh, okay.
because it's not something that I'm
Sure.
allowed to make public.
Okay.
But cheesy gordita crunch,
Okay.
7-layer burrito, a steak quesadilla,
Oh, you are a Taco Bell. You are of Taco Bell.
Baja Blast.
Sure.
Like it's when it was the only place you could get it.
Yeah.
that
I
was
hate
like
that stopped being a thing.
that was like so elite and it was amazing. I mean, really
Is Taco Bell your favorite fast food restaurant?
not even close.
I didn't know this about you. I'm learning
So
something.
it is like if I'm going in Nebraska specifically, it is Runza will always be top one, A1. You know my take on Runza
Sure.
is that it's way better in a small town. Shout out Gothenburg, Nebraska, last small town Runza that I went
You're
to.
making Bob Williams very happy right now.
It literally the best Runza that I've been to.
Shout out to Matt Davidson.
It's great.
Trying to think of more people. From
And then like
Gothenburg.
Culver's is always like I'm a big believer in the Butterburger
Yeah, same buddy.
and throw a little concrete on there at the end. Do
Listen, you don't look like me by not eating fast food.
get the triple, get a triple burger at Culver's and
What's
then
a
get
triple
a triple
triple?
concrete.
Oh, what's a triple? Is that just a extra large?
It's just an extra large concrete. After you eat it, you're like, I'm probably gonna go throw up in your parking lot, but I feel satisfied.
I love ice cream. I can't eat a lot of it. Like I can't do anything more than a small at any ice cream place. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Just not a big sweet tooth guy.
It's like one of the one things that when I do get ice cream, I'm like, I'm not gonna not eat like a whole pint. Like if I get Ben and Jerry's, I'm like, it's the whole pint's going down tonight.
Yeah, dude,
because
I
this
could eat-
isn't gonna freeze well.
I eat maybe half of that. No, are you a big ice cream guy?
Yes.
What's okay? What we didn't ask this. We told you how weird Dan's take was. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Cookies and cream.
Okay. Mine's mint chocolate chip, but like anything with Reese's in it is fine as well.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you missed our take on fast food and ice cream, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by our friends at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. You know what? Listen, if you get one of the Johnny O, Pinot Noir, Rhone, Mizzen and Mange polos for your golf outing this year, and you get some of your favorite ice cream on it, you can throw it in the washer. It comes out of the dryer. Fits just as good. It's reliable, comfortable clothing that you can always count on. Jerry Ryan's been dressing in Omaha for over 50 years. That doesn't happen by accident. If you want a tailor or somebody you can trust with your wardrobe that you know is going to give you the best advice and the best brands, 78th and Dodge is the place for you. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing Sportswear. They've been dressing in Omaha for over 50 years. We're going to stick to sports on the other side of the break. Why is this draft so the other side of the break, 1620 zone. 7:37 on a Friday night here, live on the radio. Jimmy Allen, Dan Campion, Noah Houston with you ahead of the NFL draft next week. I was thinking about this earlier. Who gets you excited this year in the NFL draft? I'll wait.
They're forcing Carnell Tate down my throat with all the stories they've been writing about him.
That's because there's nothing else. Like, other than the Ruben Bain stuff, which is not good publicity, by the way, who moves the needle in this draft this year?
So honestly, the biggest needle mover for me, like outside of maybe the top, 5 or 6 guys, is like Spencer Fano.
Sure.
Because I think he can make a real impact on any NFL team that he gets drafted to. But like, it's not like a known name kind of draft. Like, I know who Mekhi Lemon is. He doesn't like get my radar up.
So that's the point. I'm glad you brought up Spencer Fano, because I think he's a perfect example of how we're going to view this draft. I think we're going to look at this draft 2 weeks from Thursday, because obviously the draft is next Thursday night. I think we're going to look at this draft 2 weeks from Thursday night and go, I think we're going to look at this draft 10 years from now and just list off all pro, Hall of Fame, all pro guy. Where they're going to come at is from the offense and the defensive line. This year's depth on both sides of the line is incredibly impressive, whether it be David Belly, Aheem Meester, Ruben Bain on the defensive side of things, Kevin Blanks, Will Campbell. Those guys, by the way, Will Campbell, who I think is probably the best player in this entire draft.
Someone would argue Caden Proctor, but
Josh Conley Jr., those guys, all pro level talents and upsides that I think will live up to them. But then, like, you mentioned Carnell Tate, you mentioned Mekhi Lemon, Jeremiah Love, Travion Henderson. Those guys are all big names. You know who they are because the universities they played at and who they were coming out of high school. But if your team takes them in the first round, you feel great about it. I feel good. Like, okay, we got a name, we got a guy that's got a ton of upside, but you go down and buy their jersey? Like, do they generate that level of interest for you?
No,
I don't think
really. No.
Outside of Fernando Mendoza, which when you think about it has kind of been manufactured as interest.
Yeah, well,
there really isn't that guy that generates that type of response.
Well, and it's so every year when we like look at the draft, the exciting part about the draft is, who were like the flashy splash player guys.
Right.
And you always think of that as quarterback, wide receiver, running back, generally in that order, unfortunately, for the running backs, because I think that's going to become a more important position here in probably about 3 to 5 years. But like the fact that Mekhi Lemon is like the 10th best available right now on ESPN's website.
Right.
That says something. That this is not very exciting. That you don't put a wide receiver above like Caleb Downs.
By the way,
that's a horrible take.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I take that back.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Immediately.
Because like I
scrub that from the internet, Noah.
Like I mentioned, I think Will Campbell is the best player of this draft. I think Caleb Downs might be the second best player. But that's the point I'm trying to make is, as far as the production of the television show that is the NFL draft, the headline grabbing things that usually come along with this draft just don't exist. But I think the level of talent in this draft, specifically on the offensive defensive line, is going to define the NFL for the next 5 to 10 years. Specifically out of this year, I think it's that level of good. This show has been really good. We got to wrap it up and get to our closing arguments of the night on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Mad Hatter Auto Repair, a place you can go where you have a mechanic or team of mechanics you can trust. If your car is making a weird sound that's getting so loud you can barely hear my voice anymore in your car, we've got the solution for you. It's 140th and Center or right off Broadway in Council Bluffs. 2 great locations. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they treat you like royalty. It's the place to be. Check them out at either one of their 2 great locations. Tonight, we'll give you our closing arguments of the show and wrap up a Friday night on 1620 The Zone. Down on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, Dan Campen, and Noah Houston with you here. Wrapping up the work week with our closing arguments, courtesy of Bob Williams. We'll do as well. I'll give you a hot take to wrap up the show. The guy that's supposed to post this won't forget to post a poll on Twitter tonight. You'll vote for whoever had the best take. Whoever has the worst closing argument will lose the poll tonight. Noah, you've been tasked in the off-air segment to find a take. Do you have one?
I do.
What do you got?
So, you know how players must typically appear in at least 65 games to be eligible in the NBA for the major regular season honors?
We do.
Unfortunately, I'm very aware.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not like that.
Okay. Why?
Because, it's unfortunate that these superstar players have to go through injuries despite playing so well in the season and having their season get cut short because of that, even though they've played so well. Is just not what you want. And then you just don't end up getting the awards.
Dan?
I personally think that Anthony Edwards should always be
The MVP.
allowed to, should always
Yeah.
be the MVP no matter what.
I don't know how you fix load management. That's something I've thought a lot about.
So that's what they tried with the 65 game thing.
Right, but
That's like their whole thing with making them play 65 games is they say that is your load management. That is how we're going to make these guys want to play basketball.
I think you got to start taking game checks from guys or something. I don't know, man. Like it feels like a lot of guys, specifically the top level guys, get the big payday and they're like, we don't feel like working anymore. That's how it comes across.
Yeah. Oh, I don't disagree with you. I think taking away game checks is a little bit
They're
too
taking games
much.
off. Why should they be getting paid for said game if they're just sitting there in street clothes because their feelings hurt?
They're salaried employees, Jimmy.
Yeah,
They
well,
get paid whether they show up or not.
sure.
They just don't get to be the MVP of the league, allegedly. My trash take of the night is, my closing argument.
Yep, wrong
Is-
segment.
Look out for the New York Liberty this year, folks.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. Under the new provision, they
Go
were able
ahead,
to
just
sign
get through it.
Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and Jonquel Jones.
Okay.
All three of their big three to probably $1 million contracts minimum. Allegedly, Stewie's on the Supermax, which is $1.19 million per year, a 17% cap hit, which is wild for one player. Sabrina Ionescu, allegedly on the same exact deal as Brittany Stewart. And then Jonquel Jones took less, but according to her agent, not that much less than the other two stars of the New York Liberty. They're ready to run it back and try for the finals.
Cool. WNBA, folks.
You want me to talk about Nafisa Collier's ankles instead?
No, I want to talk
that's
about
boring.
the best sport in the world. And I want to talk about football. And I have genuine concerns about Todd Monken's ability to get through an entire NFL season in Cleveland as a sane human being. Not that I think he's a bad coach, I don't think he's qualified, but the Cleveland Browns bring out the worst in people. And it sounds like the ownership group, which is not as esteemed as the Green Bay Packers ownership group. Many people
Thank you.
understand
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate that.
They just seem hell-bent on making Deshaun Watson happen.
Oh, yes, they do.
And Todd Monken was talking today and talked about how Deshaun is finally healthy and Shador and Dylan Gabriel are one-year players and that quarterback room hasn't taken very many leaps forward. Cleveland had the worst offense in the league last year. And Todd Monken, I don't know if you know this. This is why you were brought to Cleveland in the first place, was to fix these problems. Now, maybe Todd Monken's trying to set the bar a little bit lower, and there's going to be some improvements in that offense this year, and specifically those three guys may take a giant step forward. If anybody's been watching the Cleveland Browns since they rejoined the NFL, that has never happened.
Yes.
And I don't anticipate it happening this year, but there's a lot of things you could say, and hell, lie to us. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just say something better than that. They haven't taken very many leaps forward. This is what you were brought in to do. This is job protection. Hey, listen, we saw him take some steps forward. They're getting better every day. We're just asking them to get 1% better every day, and we're getting ready for the offseason. We're going to hope they get some reps in the preseason that make them take an even bigger leap forward, and we hope those guys end up being all three eligible to be a starter in the NFL at some point during their career. Is it that difficult?
Put some kind of positive spin on it. You're the Cleveland Browns, the least positive spin team of all time.
Which has probably got a little bit to do with it. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because you're almost in a lose-lose situation. I mean, even a couple weeks ago, you mentioned that Shedeur Sanders has some real playmaking abilities, and I think we obviously saw that at Colorado. We've seen it a little bit in the sparing time he got last year. But let's say that you're Todd Monken and you look at Shedeur Sanders or Dillon Gabriel and go, I want that to be the guy. And then your ownership group goes, well, we're paying this Deshaun Watson guy all of this money no matter what. And you kind of need to play him. Aren't you just a little bit handcuffed right out of the gate? I mean, listen, I don't think there's anything that either Shedeur Sanders or Dillon Gabriel have done in their short NFL careers that looked anything that even remotely resembled what Deshaun Watson did in Houston. So you're kind of in a no-win situation there if you don't feel like Deshaun Watson is the guy. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like Deshaun Watson's the guy. But it's not like you've got world beaters behind him too. There's clearly not a dude in Cleveland where you can go, that's the guy for sure, right? At least for what we've seen up until this point. But that job has ruined so many careers anyway.
Yeah.
That
by far.
By the way, without quarterback controversy, without having a guy, there's been several times where it's been pretty clear who the guy was. That didn't help either. And you have this weird dynamic now where you've paid Deshaun Watson all this guaranteed money, no matter what. You drafted Dillon Gabriel way before Shedeur Sanders. And then the largest voice in your fan base wants to see Shedeur be the guy who, by all happenstance, should be the third guy, right? So it's kind of a lose situation, which is probably why the Cleveland Browns have just been losing, because they put themselves in situations like this. Now, if you're Todd Monken, do you just thumb your nose up at the upper echelon decision makers in your franchise and play the guy you want to win with? There's that option. Caveat is, what if that doesn't work?
Yeah, well, so I don't know if you're the Cleveland Browns right now, you're Todd Monken in general. Are you not at some point pulling Andrew Berry aside and saying, hey, we do realize that one of these guys hasn't touched the football in 2 years. We took a really high draft pick on this other guy, and the fan base wants us to play the third string guy. Do you see the predicament that you're putting me in?
Yeah.
With,
you know what your answer to that is? If you're Andrew Berry, you took the job, dude. Like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. Figure it out.
Oh, it hurts so much that before they left Cleveland and became the Baltimore Ravens, the Browns had a lot of potential to be good with the pieces that they had. And then the draft that the Ravens were able to do right after they became a franchise.
All right, poll question up at After Hour 1620.
Do you want to be the Cleveland Browns?
Give us your thoughts on our closing arguments. The 65-game rule is stupid. WNBA things, or Cleveland is a lose-lose situation. All of that and the entire show is available on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tonight is brought to you by Bob Williams at Williams Law. If you or one of your loved ones has been wrongfully accused and you have questions about your rights, head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Get a free, no obligation legal consultation tonight. What does that mean? That means Bob and his team will sit you down, explain your rights, and get you ready for your big day in court. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. For Dan Campen and Noah Houston, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Crawfish Day, everybody.